We're continuously on the defensive. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it, personally. We don't have to constantly explain ourselves. You know, that's a really easy strategy that was employed even at the time of the Prophet ﷺ. Keep asking him all kinds of questions. Just keep him busy answering those questions. If he's constantly answering your questions, he'll never get around to asking you any questions. Some Jews of Medina, so who brings you revelation? Jibreel? Oh, okay, that's interesting. Who are these people of the cave? Oh, okay, you know who they are? All right, okay. What's the ruh? What's the ruh? Oh, you got an answer for that too? Okay. How come sometimes a boy is born and sometimes a girl is born? And if he answers that, what are they going to do? Ask another, and then ask another, and then ask another. And you'll be explaining yourself. So Allah answered a few. And then we moved on to another question. They said, وَقَالُوا أَإِذَا كُنَّا عِظَامًا وَرُفَاتًا أَإِنَّا لَمَبْعُوثُونَ خَلْقًا جَدِيدًا. If we're going to be reduced to decayed bones, nothing, we're going to be created again? Really? This time Allah did not explain. Usually He does, right? He answers the question. They asked about the people of the cave. Did Allah explain in detail? He did. When they asked about, Jibreel alayhi salam, Allah explained in detail. This time Allah drew a line. قُلْ كُونُوا حِجَارَةً أَوْ حَدِيدًا أَوْ خَلْقًا مِمَّا يَكْبُرُ فِي صُدُورِكُمْ. Tell them, forget bones and decay, turn into rock, turn into metal. Allah will bring you back anyway. Which basically means shut up and get lost. I'm done answering your questions. Go ahead, turn into whatever you want, Allah will bring you back. Or whatever your imagination can come up with that is even harder to mold. Go ahead. أَوْ خَلْقًا مِمَّا يَكْبُرُ فِي صُدُورِكُمْ. Then so who's going to bring us back? فَسَيَقُولُونَ مَنْ يُعِيدُنَا قُلِ الَّذِي فَطَرَكُمْ أَوَّلَ مَرَّةٍ. Tell them the one who got you back the first time. Now get lost. Straight answer now. We have to see the fluff for fluff. We have to see through that. Not just for the sake of others, but for our own youth. We need to build a confidence into our youth as part of our education of them. If we don't do that, we will be paying the price for that in the next 10 years. I say that very fearfully as I say this to you. Leaders of Muslim community, we're not doing an adequate enough job thinking about how to instill the confidence of faith, how to fight the crisis of faith among our Muslim youth. Muslim youth, when they have philosophical problems, we tell them, go make wudu and make 2 rak'ah over there. And if that doesn't work, okay, come back and I'll give you a special dua, recite that and your problem will go away. Listen, if they have a philosophical problem and if they have doubts already, the spiritual solution is there, but you cannot ignore the intellectual solution. You can't. We can't afford. Our deen is intellectual. Our deen is not blind faith. Our deen is powerful. We have to believe that, and we have to instill that belief into our kids. Especially at a time where everybody thinks they've got something on Islam. They've got a reason why Islam is wrong. Everybody. Everybody's got one. Christians are attacking Islam. Do you know how ridiculous that is? Do you understand how absurd that is? I live in the South, right? Or close enough. I live in Texas. And I drive around in the South a lot. And my hobby is listening to Christian talk radio. That's what I do. When I'm on a road trip, I listen to Christian talk radio. And most Christian talk radio is about Islam. Because they have nothing much to talk about with it, So it's just, these Muslims, their Qur'an, thinks that we're doing shirk. Us believers are doing shirk. And we've got a Qur'an expert here who's going to explain everything to us. And then they'll have their whole show. And I'm listening to this stuff and I'm laughing it's such good comedy. It's quality comedy. Except when they talk about the contradictions in the Qur'an and its grammatical mistakes, right? When they talk about that stuff, I'm sitting there laughing and at the same time I start crying. Because somewhere there's a Muslim listening to this who has no foundation in faith, and he's listening to this and saying what to himself or herself? Oh my God, that makes sense. They're onto something. They got us. We haven't been able, we haven't yet done our job planting the right seeds. That's my only premise. That's my only point. And we have to do that at an early age. And forums like YM and programs, like regular programs like YM, where youth get together and have company of each other, these are components of building confidence in your faith, because you're around other people that have similar confidence. Confidence feeds confidence. That's one part of it. But now we have to think even further. And we really have to give some serious thought on how to develop these kinds of institutions and how to evolve our current institutions and make them ready for these real challenges that are coming, and see the symptoms for symptoms and see the actual disease that needs to be attacked. Most of the time we talk about the symptoms, we don't talk about the disease.